action.
Hey guys, welcome back to My Blind Mama's Messy Kitchen. Jerry here, or you could call me Blind Mama because that's what a lot of people call me on YouTube because I am totally blind. And if you are new to our channel, we welcome you and we hope you always come back for more videos. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload. So today what I'm going to do is be showing some gadgets that are helpful to anyone, sighted or not sighted. But these are especially helpful to people who are blind, like me. If you're not comfortable using a knife and you have a lot of chopping to do, I mean, if you're gonna cook, let's face it, there's cutting involved, inevitably. But these gadgets will help you take some shortcuts and you won't have to worry about the knife most of the time. So let's get started. And I'm not a paid sponsor, just FYI. I am not paid by any of these products whatsoever. Maybe someday, I hope. So, my favorite gadget is, this is not called a Chop Wizard. I used to have the Chop Wizard and it broke. So my husband ordered me this on eBay, actually. And we've tried to locate the link so that I could put it in the description box, but I can't find it. I can't find it in our history. I can't find it anywhere. And the name of it, it's a knockoff of the Chop Wizard. And they said the name of it is written in cursive and super tiny and they really can't see it. So what I'm gonna do is put a link for a Chop Wizard through Amazon. And you know, they might have different varieties there. So a friend of mine on my channel in the comments section asked me if I could describe the Chop Wizard or my chopper a little bit better because she is blind. So that makes sense, right? So I'm gonna do my best. I have to be honest, even though I'm blind, I'm not the best at describing things, which kind of makes sense in a way, but here I am trying to teach, you know, and help encourage others to cook, so I need to describe sometimes. And honestly, I forget. I don't know if it's because I've been blind for so long, 32 years, you know, and I'm just so used to it. It's just part of my day. I just do what I do and sometimes forget to describe things when I'm doing videos. So I apologize for that. So anytime you have a question, just like Kim did, just leave it down below and I'll be happy to answer or do a special video just for that. Okay, having said that, this is the Chop Wizard knockoff. What it is, it's plastic. It's two pieces, and the bottom piece is sort of a rectangular shaped bowl. It's not a perfect rectangle. I don't know what you call this, but it's a long bowl. And what you do is you attach the lid to the top. So there's a lid the same length, and it has a lid itself. So there's the bowl, and then the lid, and then another lid attached to that that has hinges that opens and closes. So hopefully you follow that. Now, when you open the very top lid, there's a hole in the middle, and that's where you place your attachments. And this comes with different attachments, and then they are square shaped pieces. And in a tub right here, where did I put my tub? On my tub over here, I've got a little storage container, like a shoebox type container, that I have put all my attachments in. The one I use most often, honestly, is the dicer. So I'm gonna set it right next to it. So in my tub here, I've got another type of dicer that makes long dices. I don't know what those kind of slices are called, or dices. They're longer than just a cube. I haven't used this before. I might. Maybe it'll make, like, if you're chopping like pieces of zucchini or squash or even the large carrots, this would probably make like long strips. Don't you think, Caitlin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is a, gotta be careful because some of these have blades on them. There's Not sure what that is, honestly. It would make slices, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, it goes this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's a blade, and it would make, probably if you're slicing potatoes. If you're sighted and you can see this, please enlighten me. Tell me what this type of cut is.
Maybe the spikes, maybe for like zesting a lemon.
That could be. You could be right. It could be a zester.
Yeah.
That could be. I'll have to play with that one. And here's another one that's very similar to it.
Yeah.
Very sharp blade type thing on it. There's a few of those. And there's a cheese grater attachment, which is good to use. It's a small space though, so I don't use the grater a lot. If I have a big block of cheese, I'll use my large grater. Now the mandolin attachment kind of makes me nervous because it's a separate attachment altogether. You take off this lid, the main lid, and let me see. It's a separate attachment, and it comes with blades, and you hook it on there, and then you take your potato or whatever that you're wanting to do, like if you're making fried potatoes and you want super thin cuts, you grab it with this plastic attachment that grabs onto the top of the potato, and you just run it down and the blade catches it and slices it. That attachment does make me nervous. I have to admit, I don't use that very often, so I don't even have it here to show you. But just know, if you're not afraid to use a mandolin, it does come with that attachment, which is pretty handy. Let me move this knife out of the way.
And it comes with like a roller on top of it, and you roll it like right for how thin you want it, and left.
Yeah, there's an adjustment wheel.
How thick, yeah.
So you can make thick slices or really super thin slices, which my husband likes to use for frying potatoes with onions, or you could, if you're gonna make potato chips, you would use that one. So mostly though, I use the dicer. So I'm gonna open the top lid, and then I'm gonna hook the dicer attachment into the hole, and it hooks in there. It comes with little hooks that slides into the opening. And I have a potato. Now, it's not a very big space, like I said, so you ultimately do end up cutting things with a knife, cutting a potato in half or an onion. What I have here is a small potato that I cut in half. So I'm gonna lay it down, skin side up. I didn't peel this potato. Maybe one of those is a potato peeler.
Yeah. Or like the mandolin piece. Like
Yeah.
you can slide it across and it makes really thin one. It peels probably the skin and most of the thing. So
I've got this skin side up, this potato laid down on the grates. That's the dicer. And I'm gonna close the lid. And it's got these bumps. I don't know if you can hear that. The inside of the lid has these bumps that grabs onto the potato, and you just push it down. Sometimes you gotta give it a good slam. And there you go. It pushes your, whoa! I just pulled off the whole lid. Oopsies. Your potato goes down through the grates and into the bowl. So I'm gonna do another one. Right down into the bowl. And apparently this bowl has measurements on it. 1 cup, 2 cup. I would say it probably holds 3 cups worth of vegetable or whatever you're dicing up. So I also have an onion over here that I did quarter. Now, like I said, sometimes you do need to use a knife. If you want a really good description on how to cut an onion if you are blind, check out Chris over at Blind Grilling. He recently did a video on a good way to cut an onion, and he describes it so well, much better than I could. So I recommend you go to his channel and watch how to cut an onion video if you're blind. I'll put his channel link in the description box. So I got my onion laid here. Laid it down kind of like the potato. And then you just push down. And when I'm making fried potatoes, this is what I use. That way your onions and your potatoes are all the same size. Unless you want slivered onions, which sometimes we do, then I'll use one of those other blade attachments. So I'm going to do some more onion. I have a few pieces over here. And lay it down on the grate. Bring the lid down so those bumps grab the onion and push down. And my bracelet just fell off. Nice. Okay. So that's the onion, and now I'm gonna lay 2 baby carrots down on the grate next to each other. And it does the same thing to baby carrots.
Oh, that was cool.
Baby carrots you don't have to cut in half at all because they fit. And that is that. And like I said, I'm not the best at describing, so I hope this helps you, Kim, a little bit. I have to admit, one pain in the butt thing about this chopper is cleaning the bumps that are under here, that grab onto your vegetable, because little pieces of it get in between these bumps. So I recommend you get a scrub brush, you know, the kind you scrub pots and pans with or whatever. You get a good scrub brush, and you just go through. You probably have to do it a couple times. I found this out the hard way. I washed it, and all this is dishwasher safe. So I just kind of tossed it in the dishwasher, and then I put it all away. And when thankfully, someone with vision was home. So when I went to use it, I think it was my husband. He said, "Oh, don't use that. We need to scrub that with bleach and a brush," because I had stored it away and it still had pieces of vegetable in it even after I ran it through the dishwasher. Yeah. So, yeah, don't do that because it turns really gross.
It turns black.
So, don't do that. Hashtag blind problems. So, get yourself a scrub brush if you're going to get one of these. So that is the Chop Wizard. I hope that helps. So I thought while I was doing this video, I would show you a couple more gadgets that I use. Let me get a paper towel. Lay down a paper towel. I usually use a cutting board, but they are in the dishwasher as we speak. So we're gonna do an apple. One of my favorite things to use since my kids were toddlers is this apple corer slicer. A lot of you know what this is, but some of you may not if you're new to cooking. I didn't know what this was until Dylan, my son, was a toddler and he started eating apples. And I would stand there in the kitchen with my knife and try to cut wedges around the core of the apple. And my husband one day saw me doing it and he said, let's go get you an apple slicer. So it's just a simple apple slicer, and it's in the shape of a circle. Again, describing this for my blind friends. It's in the shape of a circle with 2 handles on it, one on each side, the left side and the right side. In the middle is a circle. That's where your core will come through. And then there's wedges cut out. Kind of reminds me of if you've ever played Trivia Pursuit and it's got those little pies shaped pieces and you put the wedges in. That's what it reminds me of. Gosh, that's hard to describe. Okay, so I got an apple here. I don't remember what kind. It doesn't matter. Use whatever kind. And I turn it upside down so that the top of the apple it just sits more level. And so then you find the center of the apple, where the bottom of the core is. Place your core there, your slicer there, and take the handles. I probably should be using a cutting board that doesn't move. And you just push down. Got to give it some muscle sometimes. And there you go. You've got your core came out.
Action.
Sorry about that, I had a phone call. So anyway, it makes perfect wedges and it takes your core out for you. They make more elaborate ones where it has a hand crank and it peels it too. I've never had one of those. Where I used to live, there was a lot of apple trees, and I know a few people that had those. So if I ever, you know, live somewhere like that, I'll probably get one of those. But this is just for, you know, little simple apple wedges to eat. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is a boiled egg slicer. I love this thing. I first saw this when I worked in a restaurant up north. Never had seen one before. I love it. So this one that I have is in kind of a squarish shape. Again, it has a lid that closes, and it has wires going horizontally, depending on how you hold it, I guess, but I call it horizontally. And the bottom part has a little, kind of like a, what would you call that?
Like a circle with kind of empty lines in it so the strings fit in there.
It's like a holder for your boiled egg.
Yeah.
So you would put your boiled egg in there, and then you close the lid, and those wires come down and slice the egg for you. And it's wonderful. I don't have a boiled egg right now to show you that, but what I do have is a strawberry, because it also doubles as a strawberry slicer. It just makes your life a lot easier when you want to slice some strawberries, and it's super fast. So I lay my strawberry down in the same spot where you'd put the boiled egg, and I close the lid, can push it down, and it makes perfect strawberry slices.
And if you don't like the stem, you can lay it the other way so it cuts off the stem.
Yeah,
And
discard your stem piece,
yeah.
and there you have it. Perfect slices. That's a good strawberry.
Yeah.
So now I have sliced apples and strawberries I need to do something with, and I will probably stick those onions and potatoes in the freezer. That's the other thing. You could also buy pre-chopped onions in your freezer department at the grocery store, or you could chop up a bunch yourself and then freeze them, just like you can buy diced potatoes in the frozen section. Just, you know, if you're really not comfortable with knives, there are some shortcuts. So, sorry, I'm talking with a strawberry in my mouth. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, because it helps us out with the YouTube algorithms. And come back and join us again. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I hope this helps you guys out. If you're visually impaired or blind, don't forget to check out Blind Grilling. He does a lot of tips as well. And we hope you all have a wonderful day. And don't forget to always look at the bright side, even if you're blind. Bye!